I'm going to get to the news. President Biden visited the Pentagon on Sunday to commemorate the anniversary of the September 11th attack and said, quote, "It's not enough to stand up for democracy once a year." I don't know. I'm making it work, said Joe Manchin. White House officials are reportedly holding emergency meetings to prevent a potential national railroad strike, but just in case, Biden's ready if you need him. President Biden spoke about his infrastructure plan yesterday in Boston. Said one Boston resident, "Wow, I've never gotten a DUI on a paved road before." We could have given him a shirt. According to the latest numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, gas prices have decreased for 89 consecutive days, or as Fox News reported it, Biden leaves oil markets in shambles. Buckingham Palace will reportedly only extend invites to Queen Elizabeth's funeral to current heads of state and no former presidents, which is a bummer because we all kind of wanted to hear that eulogy. Elizabeth, she loved everyone at Hogwarts. Even the gingers, even the gingers. And if she were here right now, I know what she'd say. She'd say January 6th was mostly Antifa. Apple yesterday released its iOS 16 software, which will allow iPhone users to unsend messages, and not a moment too soon. The Emmy Awards ceremony was held last night. Our show was nominated, and honey, clear some space on the mantle, because they had snow globes at the airport. Elon Musk's college girlfriend is auctioning off personal items from their relationship, including photographs, a birthday card, and upwards of 3 kids. That's why we win the snow globes, baby! Princeton University announced last week it will cover all costs for undergraduate students. For families making less than $100,000 a year, said school officials, it's not their fault, their parents went to Brown. That's the sort of cutting Ivy League humor. And finally, according to a new survey, 26% of Americans said that if they were reading a book and not enjoying it, they would still finish it. Thank you, said Dan Brown. President Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden made a surprise trip to Delaware yesterday to cast their votes in the state's primaries, though for what it's worth, Biden just voted the same way he always does. Simpler times. President Biden today toured the Detroit Auto Show, and you're not going to believe this, he traded the presidential limo for a 72 Chevelle straight up. MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell said in an interview yesterday that FBI agents seized his cell phone at a Hardee's drive-thru in Minnesota. The FBI says they weren't tipped off about his location, they just assumed. Hey, they want us to get Lindell's cell phone. All right, Hardee's drive-thru. That's right, MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell said that FBI agents seized his cell phone at a Hardee's drive-thru. So not a great way to start his job interview. After the death of Queen Elizabeth, Britain's Prince William reportedly inherited a 685-year-old estate worth $1 billion, which I think makes him a suspect. President Biden said yesterday during a celebration at the White House that his recently passed Inflation Reduction Act is a win for the middle class. Thanks, said the one guy still in it. That's right, President Biden hosted a celebration at the White House yesterday. They were originally going to ask the Beach Boys, but Biden said, let's get someone the kids will like. So can we go back there? What did I miss? Go back, yeah, okay, and one more card. So we missed the part that James Taylor played at it. And that's a detail we call key to the joke. Now, halfway through the joke, I realized the problem, guys. But there was no way, and I feel like I'm pretty good on my feet, there was no way for me to fix it. Here's how it would have looked if I tried to fix it the way I thought I would. Are you ready? Wally, thank you. That's right, President Biden hosted a celebration at the White House yesterday, and James Taylor was there. They were gonna originally, they asked James Taylor, they were gonna originally ask the Beach Boys. How you feeling, Wally?
Yeah. I'm not sure that was my mistake.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. It's always been a gray area where cue cards land in your responsibilities.
Yeah.
Since he's wearing a mask, let's edit him saying, "Sorry, Seth." During the event yesterday, President Biden wore aviator sunglasses, although at this point, it'd be a big deal if he wore any other kind of sunglasses. Yeah, see, now that's news. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham introduced a bill yesterday that would ban abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy nationwide, but just because his first pitch of banning sex in general proved unpopular. According to a new survey, 67% of Americans said that they are vaccinated against polio, while the other 33% texted, "Mom, am I vaccinated against polio?" Ferrari yesterday unveiled its first ever four-door vehicle, which will be an SUV-like sports car with a 715 horsepower engine, perfect for taking your third wife's kids to soccer practice. And finally, NBC is set to premiere a new show next month starring the Harlem Globetrotters. It's called Chicago Globetrotters. Let's see if Wally got that card right. Oh, well, I guess that wasn't the problem then. President Biden spoke to Britain's King Charles yesterday for the first time since Queen Elizabeth's passing. "I can't believe you waited your entire life for this lousy job," said both of them at the same time. A possible national railroad strike was averted today after 20 hours of talks between the union's leadership and labor negotiators from the railroads. 20 hours of talks that were very annoying to everyone else in the quiet car. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told reporters at her press conference yesterday that she expects Democrats to introduce legislation next month to regulate stock trading among members of Congress, or as she told her stockbroker, sell. According to a new book, then White House Chief of Staff John Kelly was so angry when former President Trump refused to lower the flag after Republican Senator John McCain died that he told Trump, quote, "When you die, the public will come to your grave and piss on it." And if you think the line to see the Queen is long, according to the same book, this is just book reports. There's nothing here is political. We're just reporting on a book. According to the same book, the heir to cosmetics company Estee Lauder suggested to former President Trump that the U.S. buy Greenland. It would have been the first time Trump listened to a cosmetics employee. Former President Trump visited his Virginia golf club this week as it reportedly undergoes renovations ahead of a Saudi-backed LIV golf tournament. He also helped oversee packing VIP gift bags. A man in Kansas recently set a Guinness World Record for largest collection of Kansas City Chiefs memorabilia with more than 1,000 pieces, while a man in Cleveland set a Browns memorabilia record with 2. Starbucks yesterday announced a new growth plan which will add thousands of new U.S. stores. Don't believe me? Look behind you. Pretty nice living room. The pilot of a rescue helicopter that reportedly left behind a stranded hiker said that he thought the man was just waving hi. Even worse, the hiker was actually waving at another helicopter behind him. And finally, singer Adele this week put her Beverly Hills mansion up for sale. She said she has a lot of happy memories in the house, which explains why we've never heard a song about it. And that was a closer. That was the monologue, everybody.